We must stand up.
We must stop preaching.
Show a little bit of guts. It is time for us as Christians to stand up, to move out, to do
We
something.
must stand for good.
Hi, my name is Dr. Terry Jones. This is the Braveheart Show, and Islam is of the devil. What are we going to do? It's time to do something now before it's too late. I mean, that's when it's really hard because people are not motivated. Everything looks okay, and they're not really motivated to actually take action until it's almost too late to take action. That's where we're at right now in Europe and Islam. Europe rejected God for hundreds and hundreds of years. They now are about to be taken over. One, of course, because of the judgment of God, their own rejection of God, they're about to be taken over by Islam. Well, what do we need to do in America? Well, what do we need to do here? But basically for Europe, it is too late. Possibly not, if they are willing to take some radical measures. But what do we need to do in America? In Europe, they have started to wake up just a little bit. In Belgium, they are banning the burqa. You know what the burqa is. The burqa is that, well, what do they call that? Kind of like a raccoon. It's a raccoon suit. You know, where you just kind of have the eye sticking out. They ban that. Because, I mean, anybody can hide behind that. Any kind of Muslim terrorist can hide behind a raccoon mask. So in Belgium they banned it. So what are we going to do in America? I mean, what are some steps that we can do? And what do we have to realize about Islam? So we think, why Islam? I mean, isn't Islam just another religion like Mormonism or like Hinduism? Isn't it just another religion? That alone makes it bad enough. Because there's only one way to heaven, and that's through Jesus. There's only one true religion, and that is Christianity. There is only one true book, and that's the Bible. But Islam is not only a religion. It's a type of religion, but what Islam actually is, it's a totalitarian form of government. It is ruled by what we call Sharia law. It is not just a religion. It has its own constitution, its own set of laws. We have to remember that Islam, there is no such thing as moderate Islam. There is no such thing as peaceful Islam. Now, there are moderate or peaceful Muslims, but there's no peaceful Islam or moderate Islam, because you cannot separate Islam from Islamic law. And Islamic law calls for violence, jihad, war, hates Israel, hates Christians. So there is no such thing as the good old Islam down the road. So we have to understand, Islam is not a religion. There is no such thing as a moderate, peaceful Islam. Their desire is to rule, reign, take over. So what do? Number one, we must stop all Islamic immigration. We must stop it. We must stop Islamic immigration. They are only coming to this country to take over, to try to enforce through population growth, through political means, through educational means. They're only coming here to try to enforce and force their laws, their Islamic laws upon us. In Europe, they have already done it. In the United States, they're trying to get Islamic courts, that would judge outside of our Constitution, that would allow things like wife beating, honor killings to be okay. We must stop Islamic immigration. Well, we must demand that all Muslims that are here, they adapt to our values. They become Americans. If they want to stay Muslims with their culture, with their Islamic law, then they can stay in Muslim-dominated countries. The United States is a melting pot. You come here, you become an American. You speak English, you adapt our values, you adapt our Constitution, our way of life. They should be made to sign a legal, binding document pledging an allegiance, like you do when you take an oath, like you do when you become a United States citizen, to take an oath to their new home, the United States of America. If they commit any criminal acts, and they are not nationalized citizens, they commit terrorist acts, we should not be tolerant. We should deport them. We should send them back to the country. They have a passport. They have a passport to a country. They are here because of our good grace. They commit illegal crimes. They plot terrorism. Then our grace ends. That's where it ends. And then they get sent back. We should stop immediately. Right now. Stop right now the building of all mosques in America, until they allow us to build churches in Saudi Arabia. Until we can build churches in Iran, Iraq, in countries that are dominated by Islam. But they would not let us do that. There is no freedom. Why should we let them come here and abuse our freedom? Basically take our freedom and turn it against us, use our legal system, use it as a weapon against us. All mosque. No new mosque should be built until we are able to evangelize there, build churches there, until we also have that type of freedom in their country. We must close all Islamic schools. All Islamic schools must be closed because they are not beacons of education. They're not there like our schools, teaching just reading, writing, and arithmetic, education, history. They are there and they indoctrinate the young people in not in their religion. That would be okay. We have in America freedom of religion. They become indoctrinated, not in their religion, because Islam's not a religion, or not just a religion. Islam is a political system. They indoctrinate them in Sharia law. We must not forget, Sharia law calls for the death of homosexuals. Sharia law calls for the death of adultery. Sharia law calls for inhumane punishment of crimes. We must stop Islamic schools. And we must immediately, as soon as we can, according to our political system, democracy, republic, we must as soon as we can vote again, as soon as the elections roll around every 4 years, 2 years, every time they come, we must remove all weak leadership. Weak leadership will destroy a nation, because if our leaders do not lead, then somebody else and something else will lead us. And right now we are not being led by God and godly principles. We need to remove all weak leadership. God bless. This is the Braveheart Show.
Doug Worrell.